rookie report. Now, listen, for NBA rookie report, what we're going to give a grade for each player drafted in the lottery. Then after we go through the first 14 picks, we're going to name a player that we feel deserves a lot of recognition that didn't go in the lottery, but is playing very, very well. Shaedon Sharpe, averaging 7.9 points per game, basically 8 points per game. What grade does Shaedon Sharpe get? Somebody who hasn't played consistent minutes this year, when he definitely has a bunch of flashy highlight dunks that have made their airwaves through the entire internet. What grade does he get?
So I'm probably the highest out of anybody here on Shaedon. I've called him a future All-NBA player potentially. For this year, I'm going to give Shaedon a C plus, maybe a B minus if I'm really feeling giddy about it. Because for as much flashes as he's shown athletically, I mean, the 48-inch vertical, you can see it. The other week, he hit his head on the bottom of the backboard on a lob. He's also shooting 65% at the rim. He's got the best mid-range game of all of these players we've talked about, around 43% this year. Shaedon has a three-level scoring package, but he has been lost. And that's what we should expect. He didn't play a single game at Kentucky. He came straight out of high school. He may lack some discipline. And like any 19-year-old guard, I mean, you're not going to know how to play off the ball. And for him on a Portland team that's trying to win games, I'm not going to hold against him that he's maybe been behind the curve. I think his skill set speaks for itself, and we've seen too many of the positives this year for me to give him anything lower than a C.
Okay, John, I'll level with you. I think I can give him a C plus too, because like you said, he hasn't had like consistent minutes. But what you have seen from him is a guy who can defend when given the right motor, right attempts. He can defend. A guy who has a nice stroke, nice form. He can definitely shoot the ball. The handles are there. The athleticism is through. We don't got to speak on that. The athleticism is through the roof. So somebody who can definitely. He's a really good cutter. He's an underrated cutter for a rookie. You know, you said he's lost. He's probably lost in the defensive end, but offensively, he just knows how to be in the right spot. He knows how to track the ball in the air too. Underrated part of the game. Definitely a skill. He knows how to do that. So I'll give him a C plus because just the minutes are consistent. I mean, he still seems like the game is coming a little slow to him, but in his right moments, you know, playing. Plus, you got to think too. He's playing next to Dame. He's playing with Simons, Nurkic at times. You know, Jeremy Grant. So it's not going to be a lot of opportunities for him. But he finds his way with putbacks. You know, cutting in space. You know, being able to hit open shots. So I'll give him a C plus definitely.
I'm in the same realm as you guys, and John, I find it very coincidental. You're very lenient on Shaedon Sharpe, who happened to be your guy, but it just seems to be a little bit more harsh on these other rookies. But I will level with you here. You made a very valid point. He did not play basketball at Kentucky. He barely played college in high school. He barely played basketball in high school as well. So it's been some time from him to actually lace him up and play on a basketball court. And for what he has done this season as a rookie, there are some positives. Yes, Riv spoke a lot of facts also. There's not much opportunity, and for the limited opportunity, he does seize it. But you know what you want out of Shaedon Sharpe. There was the conversation of because of how athletic he is, because of the versatility that he brings and how versatile he can be as a scorer, that you were anticipating him to be a higher draft pick than he was, but then that started to fall off because they didn't think that he lacked commitment to the game. So he's been answering a lot of those haters this season very in his own way for the limited opportunity that he has had. So yes, I'm going to stick around that C plus range. That grade it could go up, of course, given the fact of what he can be. We see the potential that he has in his offensive game, and due to his athleticism, that's another big reason why I still remain confident in his ability. So I'm going to stick around that C plus range.
When it comes to Shaedon Sharpe, he hasn't played enough for me to give him a low grade, for me to give him a high grade. I think he's in the middle. He's at a C for me. It's funny how he doesn't have any opportunity, but the Blazers are not a good team. The Blazers are not a good team. The reason why Dame is averaging career high in points per game is because their team quite literally is not good, and they have to have him do that. Shaedon Sharpe, I don't think I've seen the superstar flashes that John has seen. I've seen him. I think that he can be a solid player, though, and he has the athleticism that maybe one day he puts it all together and the upside is there. But I haven't seen more from Shaden Sharp than I've seen from somebody like Dyson Daniels, who is the very next pick in this draft.
Real quick. So I'm leaning on Shaden because we have to grade these guys in the curve. Joel, you didn't see any star flashes from Anthony Simons in his rookie season or his second season or his third because these guys don't play in college. It takes them a little bit longer to develop. I think you're being very disrespectful to this man, Shane, right here.
I called Anthony a star very early on. That was my guy.
Well, you could have said back in 2019 that Josh Hart was better than Anthony Simons back then. So
he brought it up. Wait, he brought up your tweet. Wait, what did he say?
Yeah, I don't know what he said, bro. I really don't.
Josh Hart was better in 2019 in the second season than Anthony Simons was. So
when did I?
You can apply that same logic.
Did I say that though? Did I say that? I never said nothing like that.
No, I'm saying I made that point 4 years ago. The way you just did Dyson versus Shaden.
Well, Riv knows I've been an Anthony guy. I've been on Anthony for a while.
Yeah, I hate that you always have to bring me up, but yes, you have been on Anthony Simons.
No, because Drew acts like he wants to take credit for Anthony. I've been on.
You just
Anthony.
hated on him, and that was on
Drew
you.
I hated on Anthony.
Yeah. Drew was definitely an
Anthony
guy.
it.
Drew definitely is.
I didn't appreciate it.
I hated on Anthony. How?
You fell off. Sorry, bro.
I fell off for saying that he's in a similar tier as Tyler Hero.
No, it's not what you said, and you know it. I'm
I
keep
said,
pushing.
I
Dyson
said between,
Daniels. Let's rate
I
him.
said between playmaking.
I don't want to hear it.
Tyler Hero and Anthony, it's similar.
I don't want to hear it.
What's your grade for Shaden Sharp, Dehls?
Thank you. Drew was trying to skip over me.
I apologize.
It's been pretty consistent for Sharp, both play-wise, literal play-wise, and also playing time. He has some games where you look at the stat sheet, he played 28 minutes, and the next night he plays 13 minutes. So it is pretty difficult. I do think Sharp might be on a different curve than the first guy, like John mentioned, the first 6 guys ahead of him. Just because, especially as a rookie, especially Sharp, who didn't play in college or didn't play last year, the fact that you're not getting inconsistent minutes, it's going to be more difficult to get into a groove, get into a rhythm, and really feel like a contributor to this team. I think his raw stats are decent enough, right? Somewhat efficient, 47% from the field, 35% from 3 for a rookie. You know, you'll take that. Obviously not as impactful as the guys above him like Apollo or someone below him like a Jalen Williams. But I think for what we were expecting from Sharp his rookie season, which was a ton of athleticism, he's going to jump off the screen. I mean, you see highlight after highlight of his head being at the rim, whether that's in transition or cutting to the rim. I think there's moments in Sharp's game that you could see why he was drafted this high, and you could see why the future is bright. The next step is really going to be more polished on the offensive side of the ball, maybe more of like a half-court setting, where he's not so reliant on his athleticism. It's more so breaking down the defense. But overall, for not playing last year, I'm probably somewhere between a C+ and B-.
Next player is Dyson Daniels. And for me, I didn't give him a grade because I don't think I've seen enough from him to give him a grade.
I agree.
And if it was, I'd give him a C. I'd give him the same grade as Shaden Sharp. I think he's in that kind of tier right now. So before we go on to the next half of these players and grading these rookies, a quick word from Athletic Greens.
AG1.
Now, Athletic Greens, AG1 is a sponsor of this show. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase if you go to athleticgreens.com/pickaside. That's athleticgreens.com/pickaside. AG1 is very easy to use. You just take 1 small scoop of AG1 with water and drink it first thing each morning. Get all your nutritional needs. And I know, Drew, you've been using AG1 while you go to the gym. And earlier, before we started this podcast, you showcase your muscles and your growth and what AG1 has done for you.
I've been getting jacked. Shout out to my guys over at AG1 Athletic Greens. To be honest with you, it's really, that's what's been happening. I'm in Orlando right now, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, and breakfast it's not the same without my AG1, to be completely
transparent.
Didn't
take it on the plane, bro?
You didn't bring the travel packs?
Bro, God forbid you have the powder, you know what I mean?
Travel packs.
Bro, but you have the travel packs. You gave me, you blessed me. You blessed me. You gave me the big AG1 container, and that's been a blessing. But breakfast is not the same without my AG1. Just to be honest with you, I just feel so much better. My stomach feels so much better. I feel like I'm getting the right nutrients, the right supplements to my body, just with 1 scoop. That's really all I need. And so that's the one thing and one of the few things I'm looking forward to when I get back home.
And it does taste very good. AG1 does taste amazing.
If you do it the right way, mwah.
You get all your nutritional needs for $3 a day, basically. So if you guys want to use AG1, the description is in our bio. They're giving a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Remember, that's athleticgreens.com/pickaside. Link is in our description down below. Now, part 2 of the NBA Rookie Report, picks 8 through 14. 9 through 14. Number 9, Jeremy Sohan. This is interesting. Jeremy Sohan, for me, is a player that I'm very intrigued with. He's catching my eye. I love his hairstyle. I occasionally bump into his TikToks that he makes with Malachi Branham. They're very entertaining, very cool and swaggy. I love their outfits. Jeremy Sohan, I'm going to give him a C+. I was thinking about bumping that up to a B. He's averaging 10, 5, and 2. And the most intriguing part about his game is how he was shooting 45% from the free throw line with 2 hands, switches to one-handed free throws. And since that switch, he's shooting above 80% from the free throw line. He's somebody that can defend, he can rebound, he can score. He's been better at spotting up and shooting. He's a Swiss Army knife player, and I think that he's going to develop into somebody that we look at and say that that's a winning player.
Oh, you want to go, John? You look excited to talk about this one.
You go first. I was wrong about him. You're right.
You're wrong about a lot.
Oh my God.
I'll give Jeremy I'll give him a C+. I think improving for a rookie mid-year, especially like when you improve later in the year, I think it's huge. But it's also hard because Jeremy, like you said, switched his hands on the free throw motion, but he's improved in every facet, like as a defender, as a playmaker, scoring the ball, creating an open space. So I definitely give him a C+, especially in that San Antonio system where we haven't seen Pop really fall in love with rookies too often, like he's fallen in love with Jeremy. I think they built a pretty good connection. So I do like Jeremy as a player, as a bit of a jack of all trade. I want to say I would definitely call him something like that. So I'll give him a C+ because of the few times I have watched him, he's been good, but it is hard to watch San Antonio games.
So, yeah, no, I'll be very transparent. It is very tough to watch San Antonio basketball because San Antonio basketball right now is not good by any means, and they're in strong competition for that number 1 overall selection for a reason. But at the minimum, you can give credit where credit is due, and one of the few positives that you do look at with this Spurs team is Jeremy Sohan and his rookie season that he has had this year. What has been very, very great to see is that he struggled to start off the season offensively, could not really find himself, but slowly but surely he's come a little bit more comfortable on the court. His confidence is clearly there. Last 15 games to bring that free throw percentage to 80%. You absolutely love to see that. Of course, the three-point shot's just not there at this point in time. That's something that I do look for him to work on, to develop, to strengthen in his game. But his ability to be a defender, to be versatile, 6'9", you really can't ask for much more for what he's brought to you as a rookie with the Spurs. At least you understand that, hey, we hit on that selection. We can use him to be a part of this foundation that we want to build for the future. But I'm sure the Spurs are looking for a game changer this upcoming season. So to stay on Jeremy Sohan, I'm going to stick with a C+, B- because of the improvements that we've seen periodically throughout this season.
Man, you guys are sleeping. I think he's one of, if not the most improved rookie. Fun fact, in the first 24 games of the season, Jeremy shot 42% at the foul line. Since switching the thing up, last 29 games, he's shooting 80% at the foul line.
Just said this.
We're not sleeping, John. You're just not listening,
bastard. Joel did say that.
I did say that,
John,
yeah.
Just go ahead.
You got caught. You got caught.
I was looking it up. I must have tuned someone out. So I think he's been the most improved, not only for the free throw growth, but also his scoring as well. He's showing a lot of ball handling flashes, a lot of passing chops. And early on in the season, he was raw. I'm going to give him a B, maybe a B-, because his versatility on the ball, specifically transition play, I mean, he has been one of the most fascinating rookies for what he could be down the line. I'm sorry about that, though, Joel. I didn't know you had the numbers.
Hey, John.
I always got the numbers.
Fix that guy.
Ron, you've done this twice already, 2 or 3 times. You said we're sleeping, yet you give a grade that's like a letter high. I gave him a C.
What did he give? What did he give him?
B. I gave him
minus.
Okay. Yeah, I gave him a B minus. So calm it down over there, John.
Like,
You're sleeping
I don't know who is
on this podcast. Wake up, sleepy John.
Sleepy Joe.
Unfortunately, the next pick won't be this enticing. But Dehls, give your grade.
Yeah, I give him a B. Listen, he's offensively, he definitely has some work to do, but he's someone he might, out of everyone who plays, the 10 players on the court, he might care the most. I mean, he has the most hustle. He's diving after balls. Like, he shows the most effort and heart while he's on the court, and that matters to an extent, especially for a 19-year-old player who's playing on the Spurs, who doesn't this year have really nothing to play for except the #1 overall pick. Like I said, offensively, there's still a lot he's going to have to work on. But I think the fact that, defensively, he's shown some things, and the effort goes a long way.
This guy and his Walmart
He
connection.
just cut off. My goodness, Dehls, what's good with you?
like you're
Hey,
15.
the Wi-Fi.
My gosh.
Look at it.
Is he frozen?
I can hear y'all.
Oh.
Here we go.
Your Wi-Fi stinks, bro.
Now, is it just me or
It's
does
crazy. I had to opt him here last week, and I didn't do shit.
is it just me or does Jeremy Sohan have a lot of Scotty Barnes in his game?
It's just you, I think.
No, it's just you. You see Scotty Barnes cook last night too? Casual?
I don't think it's just me. I think Jeremy Sohan and Scotty Barnes play similarly.
I agree.
So they both play like Giannis?
They don't both play. I never said he played like Giannis.
You said Scotty had a Giannis-like play style. You literally said
He's a downhill slasher.
So does Sohan play like Giannis?
He definitely is a
Yo,
downhill
you
slasher.
see Scotty Barnes knocking down the mid-range last night? When are we going to talk about the damn Lakers? Hurry this up.
They are Swiss Army knives.
Jack of
Two
all
are Swiss Army knives. Now, 11th pick, Johnny Davis. I think we can all say
F.
is an F. That's an F. OKC Thunder. Ousmane Dieng has not played enough. We move on. Thunder, 12th pick. Very interesting. Jalen Williams. I gave him an A+. He's an A+. I mean,
Absolutely.
given where he was taken. When I made my original mock draft, I mocked him to the Cavaliers, and man, I wish the Cavs had him. If the Cavs had a player like Jalen Williams with Garland and Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen, this team might make the conference finals. I know he wasn't there, but I wish he was. But even if he was there, the Cavs would have traded him to Utah for Mitchell.
Yeah, he wouldn't even be there regardless.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but Jalen Williams,
Dubs though.
in the last 10 games, I believe he's averaging 19, 5, and 4, shooting 55% from the field and 45% from 3. He's just a crafty player, man. I think Jalen Williams is a do-it-all guy, and OKC is building a special team with someone like SGA, who's already a superstar player, in my opinion. You have Jalen Williams, who is making a late challenge for the Rookie of the Year spot against Paolo. Chet Holmgren's coming back. But my, oh my, I really love Josh Giddey. I've been a Josh Giddey guy since last year, calling my dark horse Rookie of the Year. One of the fans of the show gave us a Josh Giddey jersey because of my admiration for Josh Giddey, an NBL jersey. And Josh Giddey is another guy who is a 16, 5 and 5 guy. He's improving every single month. And he's somebody that, OKC with Giddey, SGA, and Williams, they're building a team with 3 players who can put the ball on the floor and they can create. All these guys have something unique to their game, and guys like Isaiah Joe fit this team perfectly, who can just spot up and shoot. Somebody that Philly let go for nothing, and Isaiah Joe on Philly right now would be a huge help. But Jalen Williams is somebody that he's an A+ grade, no doubt.
I love it, man.
Ribs, you're rocking the Jalen Williams hair right now.
Yeah, J-Dub's my boy, man.
Stop disrespecting Josh Giddey.
Okay.
We were in the Uber the other day, me and Riv, and I told them you slept on Josh Giddey.
Kind of like how John sleeps on the Lakers. Kind of how like all you guys sleep on the Lakers.
No. This has to stop. The Josh Giddey shit has to stop. All I said was I don't think he's going to be a star, but he's going to be a starter in the league.
He's a star.
If you call him a star, whatever.
He's been bugging.
He could be a star.
Bugging.
He could be, but J-Dub is coming, and they about to listen. We're gonna talk about J. This is a J-Dub topic. You always make it about something else that it doesn't need to be.
Gideon.
J-Dub topic. Show some love to J-Dub because when Giddey's backing out that weak offensive bag and it's not working, who steps up? It's J-Dub. J-Dub, last couple games, been doing his thing. I mean, they call him Baby SGA for a reason because he has that type of arsenal in his moves. Defensively, he's there. He can move his feet well. His hands is crafty. He likes to get in the passing lane. He can stick with a lot of guys. He can play 1 through 4 virtually, and I think that versatility is huge. I mean, man, this is for this pick, A+. Got to be A+, right? Can't be not.
No, this is 100% undoubtedly an A+.
I'm not grading like John. You don't have to win Rookie of the Year to be A+, and then that garbage. No, this is an A+ side. They drafted him late in the lottery. This is an A+. What he's done for this team, and I feel like it hasn't been he struggled in the earlier years. It's just the reps have been coming, and as the reps have been coming, he's been taking opportunity, and he's contributing for a team that one of the sneaky best defenses in the league. I mean, they're not top 10, but they are a really, really good stingy defense. You get Shet back, who is an anchor, somebody who can protect the rim. You bring in another guy, and Dortz has been in and out the lineup. That's a guy who can defend at will. But like you mentioned, that lineup of SGA, Giddey, now you got J-Dub, 6'6" and up, that can defend, that can create for themselves and others. I mean, J-Dubs is just a great pick. He goes out with shopping for SGA, so the drip going to come right after. A+ for me.
This is the most improved rookie by far. The last 10 games, Jalen's averaging 20 points. And as Riv said, he said a couple of things. He took a shot at me, even though he said earlier, the expectation's different for a top 10 pick relative to the 12th. And to think that the Thunder don't have Chet Holmgren back yet, and they're still in the thick of the play-in race, currently 31, 35, 12 seed in the Western Conference, it's a testament to these guards. Next year, this Oklahoma City team is going to take a massive leap, I believe, in the standings. And it's not just because of Shai. It's because Jalen is the biggest leaper out of this draft class. And with his offensive repertoire, his defensive versatility, I think he is a lot like Shai. And the craziest thing, too, is he's just 21 years old. And I think that he is the last Santa Clara first-round pick since Steve Nash. Actually, I don't know if Steve Nash was a first-round pick. I think
Steve Nash was a first-round pick.
No, a lottery pick, I mean. I know
he was.
He was.
Like that. I think J-Dub is going to be one of the 3 or 4 best players in this draft class.
And that's not crazy to say. It's not crazy. Okay. Yeah, but, of course, we do need to see Chet and how he's incorporated into this team as well. But last 15 games, you already mentioned in his last 10, he's averaging 20 points. In his last 15, averaging 18 points. His field goal percentage is 55%. But what's even more impressive is his three-point shot, 45%. You guys mentioned already his defensive versatility, how fast he is, how twitchy he is. I would like to see his ball handling be a little bit better, but other than that, I have no critiques. His ability to drive to the basket, his ability to finish, his ability to shoot. Jalen Williams and the way that he has developed this season, it has been unbelievable. And I want to give a quick shout out to my boy Kenny Beecham, absolutely, because it's looking as if we're going to be in the finals in our fantasy basketball league. And Kenny dropped Jalen. He dropped him. I could not tell you why he dropped him. But I'll tell you what, I snatched him up immediately. And now when I win this championship and Jalen Williams is an integral part of that, it's going to be amazing. So no doubt about it, this is an A+ selection. Oklahoma City continues to be the model of how you rebuild. I don't know if we're going to see a rebuild quite like this ever again, but what they've been able to accomplish, what they've been able to do so far has been amazing. This is the blueprint of how you want to rebuild if you are an NBA franchise with the ascension of Jalen Williams. He has made himself a legitimate contender to win Rookie of the Year. He has played that special of basketball.
Now, the last 2 picks are Jalen Duren at 13 and Ochai Agbaji at number 14. I'm giving Jalen Duren a B, and I'm giving Ochai a C.
I'm fine with the C, but I believe that he will be one of those guys that will be a very strong role player for the Utah Jazz for a couple of years.
Yeah, I'll say I'll give it the same grades. I mean, Duren's just a beast.
He is a beast.
His activity on the boards, his rolling ability at this age is nuts. Just you mentioned that Wiseman came in and could alter the development, but they seem like they play fine. You know, Wiseman's been fine over there. For Duren, it's just about continuing to mature and age and maybe get a little push shot, mid-range shot. But in terms of just being a glass cleaner, defensively, he's shown the ability to defend the rim. But yeah, he's just been a beast. You know, 19 years old, absolute beast. So I agree with you. I give a B, maybe a B+ for Jalen Duren, and then I give a C for Agbaji because when he does play, he's fine. He just doesn't get a lot of run.
Favorite under the radar rookies rookies that are not lottery picks, that were not lottery picks. John, I'll let you name yours first.
Mine is going to be the only defensive player of the year from this draft class, and his name is Walker Kessler. Should I play the clip into the mic, Joel?
Yes. No, do that. Do that. It's your Mona
You can
Lisa,
play
bro.
it, sure.
It's not my Mona Lisa. I've had better takes than this.
Do you go point guard here, or do one of these guys, Tyler, Kennedy, Chandler, go off the board?
For context,
Walker Kessler.
this was our 2022 NBA mock draft with the 26th overall pick. The Houston Rockets selected.
Here, or do one of these guys, Tyler, Kennedy, Chandler, go off the board at this pick?
We'll take Walker Kessler. We'll get the boys.
Oh shit!
We'll pair him up.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Over Ty.
He was sleeping too.
Point guard.
Who's the backup point guard?
Yeah, KPJ.
And then who's the backup?
They're
Oh, you're sticking with it now. Really locking it in.
We're gonna
there.
keep him and Jabari Smith together. We're gonna do
So
everything
what about
for Jabari.
Garuba?
Riv, you're real for that one
I
though.
got a bunch of
You're real for that.
You see, Joel, you see how they try to paint us as bad guys?
I didn't say anything in that clip.
No, you giggled. If you watched the full clip, you giggled and you laughed.
I giggled a little bit because I thought Tata was a better fit.
My goodness, Riff.
I thought that's what it was. I thought
My
it was
God, John, you're loud. Listen, I will say this. Every single good take that somebody has on the show is followed by Riv laughing and saying it's a bad take.
Wait, no, the Knicks third seed wasn't a good take.
The Kings was, though.
Yeah,
It was.
Minnesota first seed was also a giggle. Don't
The
forget.
Cat's been injured. Could have happened. We don't know.
Stop.
We don't know. So Walker Kessler's your under
They
the
were
radar
worse
rookie.
with Cat. Stop.
How good has Walker Kessler been this year? So good that opponents shoot 8% worse at the rim when he's on the floor. That ranks
Nice.
97th percentile. We can say it. He's been a better rim protector as a rookie than Rudy Gobert was in Utah for many of those years. Not all of them. I mean, we're already seeing elite level rim protection. And offensively, he's a more fluid player. He has good hands. Let's be honest, the same size. He's a good athlete too. I think he's going to be more than a backup center, safe to say. And he's probably going to be a defensive player of the year for Utah. They went from Gordon Hayward to Donovan Mitchell and now Laurie. And they've went from Rudy Gobert to Walker Kessler. Danny Ainge knows ball. And he also knows something that Tim Connolly didn't. And it's that Walker Kessler is going to be a stud.
So now, Riv, who's your sleeper?
I got one. I don't know if I'm giving you that dub, John, because you picked him in the 20s, but whatever. I'll let you have that moral victory and whatnot.
That is a dub. What do you mean?
I guess.
I'll let the bird speak to me because with one casual.
Yeah.
Oof.
I guess. You picked him to be a backup center. You didn't pick him to be a starting center, so But whatever. My pick, I'm gonna go Andrew Nembhard for Indiana. I'm gonna go him. He's been one of my favorites. He's my favorites at Gonzaga. I just like his point guard play, what he brings to the table. I like that he can defend, 6'5", can space the floor, can create, good point guard, can run the offense, especially with Halliburton. You can come off the bench or you could play with him. His ability to be off ball and on ball is something that I like to see. And he's not relatively old. He's about 21, 22 years old. So I like Nembhard. Nembhard is one of those guys for me. I was really high on him coming out. I thought he can definitely, if not go to a team like Indiana, go to a playoff team like, for example, it could have been Boston or a team like the Bucks, just a team that needs a backup point guard, and he can bring you that stability at that position.